2025, and we're back with I-12GIA, Real Talk with Real People, the voice of experience. I'd like to thank our sponsors, I-12GIA and Peace of Mind Training, before we get started. We are streaming live on YouTube, so let's remember this is a rated R/M program, so and as designated as such on YouTube, so no children allowed, or delicate sensibilities, so forth and so on. Tonight we're going to be talking about Trump's tariffs, the Islamic city in Texas that they're trying to build down there, and rumors of war, and just an assortment of things. So you have the professor, myself, and the specialist up there in the upper left-hand corners. So let's go ahead and get going here and start off with the professor. Fire us off, buddy.
Well, I would also like to start off by saying sometimes we will do impressions or impersonations or try and make you laugh. And anything that we do as far as celebrities and or politicians is strictly a joke. And we mean, and especially I mean nothing by that. So I'm just going to lead that off and leave that there.
Nice.
We going from that, we may or may not have somebody stopping by at some point later on to give us a piece of her mind, but that may or may not happen. I'll let you know. So I had a conversation with the specialist a while back, and I said that we would revisit this conversation at the end of Q1 2025, and that's what I'd like to do. But I'm going to start off by saying, what is the definition of insanity?
Can I answer that?
Sure.
I just got a thing that came across the news thing. Senate just voted. The Senate just voted 51-48 that would end Trump's emergency declaration tariffs on Canada. So
wait, the Senate voted?
Even the Republicans turned on them.
The Senate voted? Wait a minute. They did something? Are you kidding me?
Huh. I don't know how,
because
they shut down for a week, so I don't know how.
It's funny because I actually have that written down here as well.
7:57 p.m. on April 2nd, 2025. Did I go back to the future through some time machine or something?
Maybe.
Well,
Associated Press is running with it. The Senate just voted on a resolution Wednesday night, which is, tonight's Tuesday. I'm sorry. This must
no,
be
you're right.
No, tonight you're right. It's Wednesday.
You're right. It is Wednesday.
So they just voted Wednesday night to thwart
narcotics.
President Donald Trump's ability to impose tariffs on Canada, delivering him a rebuke just hours after the president unveiled sweeping plans to clamp down on international trade. The vote was 51-48, which would end Trump's emergency declaration that underpins tariffs on Canada. So Canada can continue to tax our agriculture like at 705%, but we can't do like 10 or 15%. Unbelievable. Anyway,
so
go ahead.
Wait.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. Good. Before you do that, though, that's along the same lines. I didn't realize that Canada was importing like aluminum and steel from China and sending it here to the U.S. to build our like schools and government projects and so forth and so on with this Chinese crap, and charging us the extra tariffs
but
for it.
Apparently, the Republic. But here's the king kicker though. They're buying from the Rust Belt, corn and grain and dairy products and everything else, and they're charging these farmers like 705%, not to mention the VAT.
Right, which we don't pay here in the United States.
Trump's own Republican Senate just turned on them. They were all there today.
Yeah.
But they just turned on them and voted against
those motherfuckers. Well, go ahead, keep it up, these dipshits.
All right, so let's continue.
Okay, go ahead, Professor. I'm sorry.
Progress
report. Yeah. Okay, so two things. Sam Adams, hey, what's going on, buddy? Glad you could join us. We are going to get you on at some point, I promise. Number two, I want to go back to my original question that I asked when we started. What is the definition of insanity? doing the same
over and
thing
over again.
over and over again, expecting different results, right? And we've been
Yep.
doing this for quite some time, right? And if I'm not mistaken, our founding fathers did the same thing with the king, right? You plead, you bargain, you come up with new agreements, and you do whatever you can to avoid a conflict to try and make things better for both parties, right? The reality of it is we're not dealing with sane people. We're just not, right? We're trying to have a logical debate with people that are irrational, okay? And you can't do it.
No.
After and I'm sorry, I'd be more than happy to have a civil conversation with anybody if you honestly want to sit there and have an honest conversation about the last 4 years not being a complete disaster for our country, okay? The US is not taken seriously on the world stage at all, right? And it doesn't matter that we have Donald Trump back or that we have Pete Hegseth. I'm saying that it's good. I wake up every morning feeling better that those men and those women are in those positions, right? We have Tulsi Gabbard. That's great. But let's be honest. They were handed the controls of the ship after the iceberg was struck, right? You can only manage this shit show so long, okay? We're not taken seriously on the world stage anymore. And we have, you've got Europe telling their citizens to stockpile at least 72 hours worth of food and water and to prepare for war. Well, why are we still on this World War III kick, right? I mean, look, let's be honest. If Russia was as bad as we thought they were, right, they would have rolled over Ukraine, right? We handed them a shit ton of equipment, the Ukrainians, to defend themselves. And look, Russia is not going to start a blitzkrieg style attack across Europe, right? What it is they want war with Russia. Okay, that's what they want to do. We're trying to have rational discussions. Going to the tariffs. It's easy
who wants war with Russia?
The United Kingdom, Europe, right? The European Union wants war with Russia, right? Because they're not shutting up about it. Every time I turn around, it's, Putin's going to do this.
So why doesn't the U.S. send Russia a backdoor message giving them its blessings just to wipe the UK off the face of the earth?
Yeah, go for it. I'm fine with that. Absolutely.
I'm all in favor of that.
So am I. I'm also all in favor of none of us over here.
I'm a big supporter of Putin. So
look, I know a lot of Russian people. I love them dearly. They're great people. I have nothing against Russia. Sean Ryan, I actually read a post from him this morning that said, it's time we probably look at it and think that maybe we're the bad guys, right? And the first step at correcting a problem is realizing that we have one, and it very well could be us. Okay, we've meddled in everybody's government across the world. We've done terrible things. We've done terrible things to our own people. MK Ultra, the Patriot Act. I mean, you name it. We could sit here and go all night.
When you had a president of the United States asleep for 4 years, tell me, what else did you think would happen?
Well, let's back up. Let's back up, right? 5 years ago, they did the worst possible thing to us that they could, right? We went against the Nuremberg trials, right? And the findings there, and we started forcing experimental vaccines on a populace. And what's happening now, right? These rapid cancers that we were told were never going to weren't a thing. Now, all of a sudden, people are getting rapid cancers. My mother being one of them. She was a nurse. She had to get the jab. And all of a sudden, this rapid cancer took over. And
your 29-year-old cousin, paramedic at Lawrence General, get the vaccine. She had stage 3 breast cancer.
What is this, right? We have young, healthy people, and I'm talking people that go to the gym, that work out, that are healthy, dropping dead of sudden cardiac arrest, myocarditis, and what's going on? We have no repercussions. Now everybody's coming out going, oh shit, ivermectin, it does work. Sorry for all the horse dewormer memes. Sorry for public shaming you. Sorry for making you out to be crazy. Hey, sorry we didn't let you buy groceries. But right now, where's the restitution, right? Why can't we sue these companies, right? They made billions and billions of dollars, right? That's just
Congress gave him a pass on liability.
so far. You've identified 3 things that Congress has done to directly hurt the American people. Shall we continue?
Right.
Right.
Well, we can, but it all leads up. It all leads in one direction.
It does. Sadly.
Okay.
Sadly, it does.
All right, let's clarify the whole tariff thing. Mitch McConnell just voted with Senate Democrats to terminate President Trump's tariffs on Canada, 58-41. It's still got to go to the House. That's just the Senate, for one thing. So that battle is far from being over yet. Somebody needs to seriously question Mitch McConnell's mental stability also, or ability.
Well, so that's another point, right? I mean, we watched, and look, there's enough of us here that worked in public safety, especially EMS, that understands when people are not alert and oriented, right? Okay, we had this discussion about informed and implied consent, right? That was a debate the last time we talked. He was not in control at all, and what was being passed that he had no idea, right? So, here we go. We see people, and then Mitch McConnell, same thing, middle of press conference, just turtles up and just stares off into the distance, right? These people are not putting their constituents first. They're putting their bank accounts first. They're putting their families first. And I'm sorry, I am going to say it. They're traitors. That's what they are. Public service is supposed to be public service, period. Right? We're supposed to be serving the citizens.
Refresh my memory. What's the penalty for being a traitor?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, I'm going to try and be a good Christian about this and say I'm not asking for that, but I'm asking for accountability. Yes, Sam Adams just put term limits. That's fantastic, but I've never seen a body that can vote raises for themselves.
So just for point of clarification, you can't have term limits. Okay, it's got to be in the Constitution.
Yeah, constitutional amendment. Yeah.
You do have term limits. It's called the ballot box. That those technically are term limits, but
the ballot box doesn't mean anything anymore, though, right? It doesn't.
Well,
it doesn't. Right
but to get
it doesn't mean
limits,
anything.
You got to have a constitutional amendment, which you don't really want to go there, because once you vote to have a convention of the states, you open up the whole Constitution.
The whole Constitution, yeah.
So some I don't care, Democrat or Republican. Let's say both, because right now we're in such a state of turmoil. We don't even know who the leadership is.
Yeah.
Could say, open up the whole Constitution and say, well, I want to get the Second Amendment out of this, so let's do it.
Right. The Republicans.
That's the danger you're running having a convention of states to get term limits. Most people tell you term limits are at the ballot box.
Okay, the Republicans have voted against that also. Susan Collins of Maine, Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, and Rand Paul of Kentucky. So, yeah, term limits, primary, every one of those assholes.
What has Canada done for us?
Nothing.
Name me
Nothing.
one thing.
Nothing. They haven't done anything for us.
I rest my case.
They haven't done it. And let's be honest, when we come back to term limits,
I don't think it has to go to the House either.
When it comes back to term limits, we can't honestly say the Pelosi's, the McConnells, the Bidens, right? We can't say letting them go till they're 100 is doing anybody any good. It's just not, right? It's not doing us any good at all.
So who keeps putting them in there?
That's what but that's what I'm saying, right? Now we have to come back and say that the ballot box is actually real. Now, keep in mind, Doge just found 5 million illegals receiving Social Security benefits. And then you have states that say they absolutely can vote. So it's not a real vote anymore.
So what do you need to vote? Either a driver's license, a passport, or social security card.
All the states, including the one I'm sitting here right now, doesn't require it. Right? So that's where it comes back to. We're doing the same thing over and over again, right? And now we have some district court judge that you know, everybody says, I didn't vote for Elon, I didn't vote for some 20-year-old with a laptop computer, and I didn't vote for this judge either, right? But this judge can dictate national policy. I didn't vote for him. He's a Democrat, and his daughter runs these NGOs, and she's a lawyer, and it's all corrupt, every single part of it. So I don't want to be the doom and gloomer tonight, but all I'm saying is we're still doing the same thing over and over again, right? And you know, we were all hanging on this Supreme Court race in Wisconsin. That should not matter when we just had a landslide victory in a presidential race. That shouldn't matter. It shouldn't. And now it's going to be, oh well, you know, for the next 2 years we're not going to be able to do anything because, you know, Trump's going to be, you know, tied up. We got that and our own party traitors in there. I gotta say, it's we need to be thinking, at least us as the citizens, we need to be thinking bigger picture.
Well,
so,
yeah.
So this comes back, and I mentioned the whole the Doge with finding. So far, right? Since January 20th, and since, you know, we had the House and we had the Senate, what have they done? What have they actually passed that was America first? That was for MAGA? What was the mandate they were supposed to follow? And have they done anything?
Nope.
Nothing. They've done nothing, right?
Zero.
So far, and I'm going to say it. Where's the arrests? Where's Pam Bondi? Right now, I know a lot of the Democrats, you know, they were saying, oh, he's going to jail his political enemies. Well, first off, that's exactly what you did, and hell yeah, get ready, because we're going to do the same thing to you, and see how it feels, right? Lawfare should never happen, but you've done plenty of it. And these CIA documents that are being released, we're finding out more and more things that you've done. So yeah, buckle up. We're on our way, and we're going to use the Patriot Act too. So there you go. She's done nothing. I saw a video from her saying, we're going to prosecute the Tesla vandals. We're gonna put them away for 20 years. Pam, I don't want to hear that. I don't. I think Democrats keying each other's cars and spray painting swastikas on each other's cars is absolutely fucking hysterical. So leave it alone. I want you to go after the people that actually broke the law. I want you to go after the people that committed lawfare. I want you to go after the people that betrayed the American people, right? That's what I want you to do. And so far, she's done none of that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, neither has Clarence. All he's been doing is ice skating, playing ice hockey, and everything else. So,
well, you know, he's given updates on, you know, FBI raiding here and raiding there, and, you know, okay, if there's anything, I guess, you know,
whose panty drawer have they raided now?
Right. I know, you know, listen, you know, Hegseth's done, you know, sweeping policy changes for Department of Defense, which, you know, I think is good. He's changing the combat standards. Okay, awesome. But where's Pam, right? Where is she? And where are I'm hearing all sorts of stuff about Adam Schiff. Great. That's great. Where's the arrest? Where's the indictment? Where's that? We know for a fact he lied to us. I'm still waiting for the clear and overwhelming evidence that President Trump committed fraud, that President Trump was colluding with the enemy. Great. Where is it? Oh, it's not. You lied to the American people. You're under arrest, sir.
It was never there.
It was never there, right? So where's the arrest? That's what I want to find out. Where is that?
You
I don't care about
pardoned.
signal chat. I don't care about any of that. Where is the
You
arrest?
you get pardoned.
Well, it comes back to a whole, was it legal? Was that a legal thing? Now, let's I don't know if you want to save it till after that. Well, that was a point of debate a couple weeks ago. But look, at the same things happening worldwide. Any sort of political figure that's just right of center is now being locked up. You're seeing it happen in France, Germany,
yeah,
all over the place, right?
Romania.
If it doesn't fall within the left's domain, lock them up. That's what they're doing. We haven't seen the end of this. This is just the beginning of what they did to Trump. And after Trump, I don't think we'll ever see I think it'll be very difficult for us to see somebody that of the right get back in, because they're going to change the rules. They're going to all of a sudden redistrict, or no, the illegals can vote. We don't have to tally anything. We're just gonna make up these numbers, and then we're gonna add these seats. Their playbook will be pushed through. So that's something we need to think about for sure.
Yep, afraid so.
Well, why do you think that election in Wisconsin was so important last night? Because that Supreme Court judge that got elected, the Democrats, her plan is to. So the Wisconsin House is a majority Democrat. They're going to redistrict the whole state. She'll approve it, which means they'll get rid of Republican seats and have more Democrat seats. And an ability to control a Republican House.
That's great. Let a red state should do the same thing, right? Like whatever they do, we should just counter it and keep going. 10 Night Shade 13. Hello, how's it going? Annie, good point. Canada gave shelter to the draft dodgers during Vietnam. Yeah, Canada hasn't done much. It doesn't matter how much this administration puts out, right? They'll show you the documentation, right? They will be transparent and say, here's what we're paying for tariffs. Here's what we're being charged. And the left still loses their mind, right?
He did that today. He had a whiteboard at the press conference. I watched it. He outlined.
Yeah. Nancy Pelosi was losing her shit right before we went on the air.
Charging us. And what our new tariffs are going to be. Yet, not 2 hours after they were all standing up clapping for them, they went and voted them down.
Well, so that's the thing. You know why? They don't give a shit because they keep taxing us, right? Half of our paychecks are gone to the government, right? So they don't want the tariffs because they're getting money from everywhere. It's how they launder it. And the money comes back, right? Look, Elon said he wanted to find out. Hold on. Elon wanted to find out how our Congress people make $200,000 a year and are actually making 20 million. Where's that coming from? The thing is, they'll keep these tariffs going so they can launder money and charge you, me, and everybody else, take half our pay for taxes, and we have no choice but to do it. Because if not, they put us in jail.
So,
right?
based on your last 10-minute conversation, do you suspect you'll ever see the tax, who's the president?
Joe Biden.
You ever think you'll see the Biden tax cut continue?
Our taxes will never go away as long.
How about no taxes on tips or no taxes on Social Security or anything like that?
We're not going to see it.
Not at federal level. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Biden, and a little bit of a different topic here. I saw apparently Hunter Biden has surfaced back again and has agreed to willingly give up his law license, apparently. If you're a convicted felon that perjured themselves, you're a narcotics addict, you've committed all kinds of crimes against moral turpitude, crimes of moral trooper tube, and so forth and so on, don't you kind of automatically lose your law license?
No,
What the
because
fuck?
he was given a full and unconditional pardon. No.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
People that have full and unconditional pardons can even go out and buy firearms again. Okay?
Yeah, you're right. I can. That's fine. Okay. Well, answered that
So
question.
there's going to be a nefarious reason why
Yeah.
Hunter's turning in his law license.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That delves more investigation.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, okay, never mind. That just got blown out of the water. I was thinking, how the fuck does that work? That sorry was supposed to be more kinder and gentler. No bad language. Sorry, whoever I offended with.
Yeah, my fault. My fault too. Yeah.
Both. Yeah. But, interesting. All right, never mind. Go ahead. So, moving right along.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it was a fun week for sure. The media, right? Just when you think they can't get any lower, all you gotta do is wait for the headlines tomorrow morning, and you see something else.
Yeah.
We got a good look at Leslie Stahl as she was talking to the hostage, who said, "Well, they were starving us," and she just said, "Well, do you think Hamas was just out of food?" And he's like, "No, they were starving me, and they were eating in front of me while they were starving me." Like, listen, if the God forbid, 1776 times 2 happens again, we need to completely reset the media.
Boy, no kidding, man.
And I'm not even saying get rid of them. I'm just saying that if you want to be just a propaganda outlet, then there should be a little watermark somewhere on your screen that says that no matter what, you're just a mouthpiece, right? But actual news, you go somewhere else for, So that was interesting.
I have no faith in the news. I have no faith in the media anymore.
No, I said, I said that if, Dan Bongino back when he was doing podcasting, or Joe Rogan or Sean Ryan, if those guys did weather and traffic, I would tune into them every morning. That's just what I would do. Because they don't care, right? Like, they obviously enjoy their large audiences, but they don't, there's nothing in it for them to lie to you. So they just have regular conversations,
Hey, let me ask you this. I love Dan Bongino more than anybody else, but where's he been?
I think he walked into an office and was like, oh shit, there is a lot to do here, right? I mean, he just walked into the FBI, and one of the most corrupt agencies, I mean, and for, in the government. I think he just realized he has a lot of work to do.
So
I don't think you're going to hear much from him.
Just throw this out there so I can try to sleep good tonight. Promises made, promises broken. Tell me who said this. On day one, if confirmed, I'm going to close the J. Edgar Hoover building and turn it into a museum.
Mm-hmm.
Who said that?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody recall?
Yeah, that was Cash. That was Cash. But I mean,
okay, all right. So we're headed in the right direction now. Now, what day is it today?
Yeah, but if you watched his confirmation hearings, they shut that down. Right? He backtracked.
Should have kept his promise, or should have said, you know what, Mr. Biden, I'm withdrawing my. Trump, I'm withdrawing my nomination as director because I can't fulfill that promise.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. I was kind of hoping that he was going to do that with the ATF, when all of a sudden out of nowhere he's also in charge of the ATF. I thought that would have been a, hey, you're not shutting down the FBI, but you can go ahead and do away with ATF. So he at least would have had that,
He plays ice hockey every morning. That's it. That's all he does.
Well, Well, I can't speak to that or not. I have
Oh,
no
I've
idea
seen
because
videos
I'm
of
at
it.
work super early. So
Maybe he should be spending more
Um,
time at the eye doctors trying to get his eyes uncrossed or something. I don't know. He
well,
certainly is
so
not
well,
acting as an FBI director would. All right.
yeah. Well, I would like somebody other than our vice president to be tearing into the European Union. And listen, I love JD Vance, and so far he's the only one I'm hearing doing this, right? But the UK is, I'm sorry, it's gone. It is completely gone. You know, and I'm seeing the videos. There's no way that you can fake this. They're jailing people for standing on the sidewalk thinking, oh, well, you're within a quarter of a mile of an abortion clinic. Put your hands behind your back. You're gone. There was a daycare in London or just outside of London where they kicked out a toddler for being transphobic.
Yeah. So, but you
I-
got to realize though, the whole European Union is gone. London is gone. Every major city in London has a Islamic mayor. Everything over there is starting to turn slowly to Sharia. So
Yeah.
you got to expect that stuff, dude. It should come as
So
it shouldn't be keeping you up at night.
So this is the part that's going to sting, right? And I don't mean it as an attack to law enforcement officers, but I pay attention, ladies and gentlemen, right? Because all the cops that I'm seeing in London that are doing this are your white police officers, right? It's not like we're seeing, we actually have Palestinian officers here that wear Palestinian flags, okay, that say their loyalty is to
That's New
Palestine and they're
Jersey.
policing American cities, okay? But I'm watching the white officers over in London that are doing this. This is sorry, I'm just following orders. I wonder what group of people said that, right? So I can tell you, I have walked away from jobs, right? Because it wasn't lining up with my moral compass, right? I couldn't sell myself to do that, right? Sometimes it hurts, but other people need to do the same thing, right? That's what our founding fathers did, right? They put it all on the line. This is where I say, let's pay attention because God forbid something like that happens here. I think we would see more often than not law enforcement officers falling in step with what the higher ups tell them to do. Right?
It's already
a lot of times
happening. There are already a half dozen states they could rattle off. Just write them off. They're gone. The most recent one that's on the verge of falling now is the state of Texas.
Yeah. That's going to be a whole different kettle of worms. Texans, they're starting to wake up, though. For example, the governor there signed a no Sharia law order back in 2017. And the group that's trying to set up that city there is under investigation for all kinds of stuff right now. They're hammering them hard about various assorted criminal and civil violations in this zoning processes and everything else. So hopefully Texas will come to their senses.
What do you think? How far do you think that's going to go?
Well, I mean, it's still in the planning stages. They caught it before they built anything. So we'll kind of see. But people are waking up. It's not like they don't know what's happening. Because you got to remember, and it's Austin is where Texas is. That's where all the idiots move to is the Austin area. All the California liberals and shit moved over there when they went to Texas. But that's definitely not the entire state, and people are waking up. So I got faith in Texas. I think they're going to be okay and get that sorted out. But they tried to sneak it in there, and it's not working.
I pray that you're right. Unfortunately, it's so much prayer it may suck all the life's energy right out of me.
Oh, I know, you and me both. I'm so sick of all this shit that these politicians are just despicable human beings all the way around. That shit.
No,
did anybody listen to Chuck Schumer about the tariffs today?
Yeah.
His little diatribe.
As soon as he started, I just clicked. I don't even bother.
that gives you an indication, though. The only reason I listen to it is because it gives you a little bit of an indication where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you a little indication of what they have planned.
Mm-hmm.
No, we know what they have
Yeah.
planned. We know what they
Yeah.
have planned, and you just again, it goes back to just look at the left's playbook, globally, right, and look at what they tried here, and then look at what they're gonna pull again. You have, I'm sorry, but you have politicians actually going up on the dais, and they're saying, turn the planes around. They literally
I know,
want
right?
murderers and gang members and terrorist organizations. You bring them back now. I want them back now. It's hysterical that we can actually get the left to do that, right? But at the same time, it's heartbreaking because I can laugh about it, but my kids are going to grow up here,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandkids are going to grow up here, right? What are we leaving them? So we can have a good laugh at it, but we need to kind of put our heads together and figure out what we're going to do, because this is not sustainable at all, right? They're going to sit up there and fight to turn planes around of people that shouldn't even be here in the first
They're
place.
having a hearing Friday to bring that MS-13 gang member back from Maryland because Jamie Raskin, who's was so hated by his own son committed suicide. Jamie Raskin says that father was from my state and I want him back here, and we're having a hearing on Friday and they're going to get him out and bring him home. An MS-13 gang member.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He was a gang leader of some type, apparently. Been here for a while.
Yeah, it was a leader. Yeah, he was one of the leaders.
So even with Trump,
and what judge gave him federal protection?
Even with Von Trump in there and Kristi Noem and everything else, they're going to get their way. These people are going to get their way. Yep. You might as well just. I promised I'd be good, and I'm working on it. I really am. You might as well just go out and buy stock in KY Jelly, because we're all going to need it, The best is yet to come.
Yeah, I saw that lovely gem again. A couple of weeks later, they just played it again of Mayor Wu from Boston. How is that not a slap in the face to Bostonians? You have an off-duty police officer, which, again, I don't mean to be picking on law enforcement, but there are times where, especially if you're in public safety, you don't want to get involved because the lawsuits and the discipline and everything that's coming down the road. Hey, if I don't make the right decision in the next 3 seconds, I'm probably going to go to jail. And here's this officer off duty, risk his life.
I know cops that don't even stop cars anymore.
So do I.
Because they don't want to eat.
They said it's not worth it.
They don't want to. They don't want to get jammed up. And I can't say I blame them. No,
I don't either. But here you have an off-duty officer that takes action, right, and eliminates a threat. And now our, condolences go out to the one who lost their life. Well, if they didn't pull a knife and start stabbing people, they'd still be alive, right? That's why I'm alive sitting in my car right now, because I don't do that, right?
Yeah.
So, but this is what the left wants. Well, let's not talk about the heroic actions of the off-duty officer. Let's talk about this person that passed away. We're so sorry. Look, the UK too. Today I saw that they have heavier sentencing now for white men. But if you are a woman who is pregnant, or you have a different ethnicity, sentencing will be lighter.
That's where
this is something that's sweeping across the world.
To get arrested, to call your doctor, tell him you want a transgender.
Yep. So everybody needs to get right with God for sure.
Yeah.
Keep that moral compass up.
All right. Let's see. As What do you think, guys? You want to do our lightning round here? We're coming up on, like 10 minutes left or so before we call it tonight.
Sure. We should
All
also
right.
touch base on the rumors of war and the repositioning of the fads. And
Yeah, I guess we could do that real quick too. Let's do that first. Yeah, no kidding. Lots of stuff going on worldwide and equipment being repositioned, and B-52s over the Middle East for the first time in history.
Aircraft
Um,
carriers being deployed.
Yep. I don't know. I don't know how that's all going to play out.
so what did you think about that low speed pass of the Carl Vincent by the Russian surveillance plane?
I think that's just
Again,
saber rattling. They do it all the time.
again,
So,
no,
do they do it
that
to-
was way too close.
Mm.
So
No, but that was an aircraft carrier, though. I know they've buzzed ships, they've buzzed destroyers, they've buzzed subs that have been surfaced,
Mhm.
but I could be wrong. Again, not a veteran, but I was always told nothing gets close to the aircraft carriers, period. And that's the first time I've actually seen video
Mhm.
of a foreign aircraft getting that close
So-
to.
where's the Democratic rebuke of Trump and Hegseth over that one? I don't get it.
Mhm.
Somebody should have made the decision to blow that sub hunter right out of the sky, turn it
Right.
into a ball of flames.
And again, I always thought that our position was, you break 150 miles of our aircraft carrier, we're shooting you down. We don't care if you're friend or foe.
It is.
Keep
Well,
your shit away from us.
Perfect example.
Mhm.
Probably about 18, 20 years ago, there was an Iranian passenger airliner flying over to Carl
Mhm.
Vincent
Mhm.
and wouldn't identify itself. Carl Vincent blew the Iranian passenger airliner out of the sky. All right.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So,
So,
Yeah.
and again, I know we've had, high speed passes over destroyers, cruisers. Again, surface submarines. We've been buzzed before, but I was always under the impression that nobody gets close to the aircraft carriers. Period.
Yeah.
And that they literally could have dropped their dip cups out the window and hit it. Like, that's how close they were.
and
Stunning video.
The commander of that ship should be relieved of duties, and somebody should be held responsible for that. That sub hunter should have been a pile of metal floating on the sea with oil. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, look what we did to the two Libyan MiGs. The F-14s blasted those things because they were within 200 miles of the aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. They jinked what, 6 times and turned back into them. Right. So, yeah, I would have been like, hey, sorry, Vlad, but you know what's going on, man. You can't get close to our ships, But they're, the Army's repositioning their Patriot missile system. There's rumors that there's going to be an attack on Iran within the next week. We're repositioning B-2s and B-52s.
I'm all for that. Let's turn that area into a pile of glass.
Then this is the problem with that is it's what happened to the no new wars, and
Well, listen, every promise they've made so far, they haven't kept it. They're broken. So
yeah.
this should be. I'm good with one more. I'll take it for one more.
All right.
All right, Mr. Producer, let's do the lightning round.
Okay, let's see. Today on Twitter, Kid Rock's attire at White House versus Zelensky's in Oval Office. Kid Rock was kind of overdressed for the event, I think. Did you guys see that? His red, white,
Yeah,
and
but
blue.
you know what? At least he had a suit on, and he was respectfully dressed. Okay.
Yes, I'll agree with
That's
that.
like me going to the supermarket in my underwear and a pair of clogs.
Yeah, let's not forget how we do this. Okay, Kid Rock's attire at White House and Zelensky in the Oval Office. One word.
Lame.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go with colorful. All right. El Salvador woman detained in Texas after 39 years for being illegal.
Deport her.
Bye.
Yep. See ya. 39 years. Should have been a citizen. Texas recognized Pakistan days and halts Epic City development. Why are we recognizing what Pakistan Day?
Yeah, that's typical.
Isn't that the country that we killed Bin Laden in?
Yeah,
I rest my case.
exactly. Fencer expelled for protesting transgender opponent.
Who got expelled?
Hero. I saw that.
Yeah,
Well
fencer
done.
expelled for protest. Female is a female fencer expelled for protesting transgender opponent.
Give her a gold medal.
Yeah, give her a gold medal because that transgender opponent was fought in the male circuit the year before. So well done to her.
Yep. Let's see. Okay, don't do that one. And there's a pattern. 17-year-old white student stabbed by a black student. Okay. Representative Jasmine Crockett just admitted she was a DEI hire.
I saw that.
No surprises. No
I knew it.
surprises.
Yep. Speaking of Jasmine Crockett, she says that police are racist and there needs to be personnel who look like her. Otherwise, they won't take her case seriously. Well, it's the same thing. She says DEI is important and diversity has value. Okay. You all pretty much in agreement. Yeah, it says Crockett is an unhinged lunatic. Yeah, pretty
I
much.
say defund the police.
Yeah.
Tell me, how do the police in Somalia handle their own citizens?
They hang them.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like each other, right? Are they treating them better? Are they?
Hey, I just saw a big picture of Alina Harbour with a vest on that said United States Attorney. She had a guy in handcuffs.
Nice. Let's see. What else? Okay. Cory Booker. I may be tired and a little hoarse. Yeah, you are a horse's ass. But as I said again and again on the Senate floor, this is a moment where we cannot afford to be silent when we must speak up. Apparently, he went 20 hours and didn't stop for food or evacuation during that entire period of time.
My sources told me he was wearing Depends.
Okay.
And he should have gone out and bought some throat lozenges.
Yeah. Well, my thought is it kind of confirms that he's just full of shit. So.
I was trying not to go down that road.
Yeah, well, that's all right. That's okay.
Wasn't that one of the longest filibusters?
Yeah.
Yeah, in history. Yeah.
In history.
That's his claim to fame.
Yeah. Also, his staffer arrested, right, for carrying a gun.
Carrying a gun. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well done. Shut up. Get off the stage. You're done.
Yeah. Good riddance. Dr. Fauci's wife has been fired from the NIH.
Why was she there to begin with?
Yep.
Probably still smuggling out state secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just
I want to hit on one thing though.
What's that? Go ahead.
Some guy was on trial in Boston, Mass, right? An ICE agent went in and put him in handcuffs during the trial. The judge was trying to hold the ICE agent. I would have drew my gun and shot my way out of there. When he told the Massachusetts State Police taking this guy into custody, I would have drew my gun and shot my way out of that courthouse.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we look at in reality, you would have made it out the front door, right? Because there's more than them than one of you. I should have sent more than one.
So that ICE agent should have emptied his gun and reloaded. He's got 3 magazines.
Maybe. I don't think it would have worked out well for him.
Yeah, self-defense, absolutely. It's called.
So he would have been in a Ziploc bag afterwards, but he might have won.
Clause, okay? A federal agent shows up to arrest, they can't interfere with him. It's called the supremacy clause of the Constitution.
But
that judge himself should have been taken into custody or shot.
Nobody believes in that anymore, though. That's the problem. That's exactly what I was saying earlier, right? That's proper procedure, right? That's what the Constitution's there for. They don't believe.
Did the special guest show up tonight?
So there's been a lot of war drums going on. There's been a lot of squawking and I want
to see what she thinks.
there's you know, I've been trying to, you know, keep that side quiet, but I don't know. Let's ask Senator. What's your thought on this? I don't know if you can see her here. Here.
Oh yeah. Well, hey.
There she is. What's your thought on that? All right, that's enough out of you. But yeah. So
give her a chance to answer the question.
I've heard enough. But she might pop on. She might pop on next week. I'm trying not to use names so we don't get kicked off of YouTube. But yeah, she'll be joining us probably, you know, almost on a regular basis. She might pop up with a specialist every now and then, but we'll see.
No.
Hopefully we can have some rational dialogue, and we'll see if we can get some good conversations out of there.
She's not going to be sitting on the specialist's lap there or anything.
No, I had to get her out of my house because my dogs were going nuts. They were attacking her.
But this is me being bipartisan, right? And let's see if we can, you know, work together to come up with resolutions, and we'll go from there. As long as I just gotta every once in a while dodge a tomahawk and an arrow, and I'm good.
All right, fellas, we're
I don't want to see you on the next show wearing an Indian headdress either.
I won't.
A loincloth or something. All right, guys, we're coming up at our 9:00 hour. Got anything else you want to talk about? Hour here.
I'm sure we'll have plenty. We'll have plenty to do next week, but
yeah, maybe when everybody's a little more functional here next week, hopefully. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take us out then. Specialist, you want to say your goodbyes?
Yeah, I'll say my goodbyes. Go ahead. A couple things. I'll be quick. God bless Israel, United States. So last Sunday, just a couple days ago, the student at the school where my daughter teaches committed suicide. Yesterday, a Lawrence police officer committed suicide. So I guess where I'm going with this is, if you're at that point in your life where you feel there's no alternatives, reach out to somebody you know. You know, reach out to me. I'll talk with you. You know, there's a number that you can call, the National Suicide Hotline. Reach out to somebody. I mean, how desperate does one have to be to take their life like that? You know?
Yeah, good point.
Sad state of affairs. But anyway, I'm done.
All right, Professor.
Proper planning prevents poor performance, especially with the state of things. It's important to stay prepared. So keep the gas tanks full. You can start small, build a small little pantry shelf, stock up food, water, medical supplies, little things here and there, and build up your kit. That way, if you need it, it's there. God bless Israel. God bless the United States.
All right, beans, bullets, and band-aids, folks. On that happy note, good night. We will see you next Wednesday, same time, same station.